Andy, are we sleeping on Justin Cooper, 6th in the points? Like, are we?
No, I think he's good, and I think that he's learning 450. I think it's not his time yet. I think this year will be, especially on the 450 outdoors, is going to be a big question for him if he can go all the rounds and be consistent. I mean, we know how fast he is, especially when he was on a 250 outdoors. He was really, really good. So I think for him too is confidence in the 450 class, because those guys are badass. So it's I mean, you look at the kid, he has all the tools. He's a great starter. Like, that's few and far between. He can get a start almost every weekend and be up there. So it's just, can he follow through and get a win here, or get a great finish, get a second or a third, battling. And I think that helps him.
Do you not feel like he's going to be right around Hunter Outdoors? I kind of do. Whatever tier you want to put him in, like Jet, Chase, They're in
the next one.
Right. I think
Anderson, Hunter, Cooper,
I think
Barsha.
he's right there. Right.
Okay.
But I think if he gets and you know how outdoors is, and I'm going to say, like the way our sport is, it's not like any other sport. We line up every race. There's no staggered start. There's no, I got a great qualifying, so I'm, get a lead.
Yeah.
And you have to start twice. Even if you win the first moto, the second moto, you can go and blow a start and get beat. So I think that Justin Cooper, he's such a good starter that it'll allow him to maybe win a race. That the guys get a bad start.
You think he could win?
I think he's good enough.
Okay.
I really do. I think he's good enough.
Yeah, I believe in him too. I think he's gonna. He has a lot of top end speed, and that's hard to find. I think he can slowly, steadily get better. Like, if that guy gets a whole shot outdoors, he can run for a while. Like, he's fast and he's fit, and he's like a.
Look at the lack of wins he had. Actual outdoor wins on a 250. Like,
I know
it's weird because he's got 8 million podiums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, but I mean, he raced some great guys too.
Yeah,
and I mean. He's a pressure player to me. Like, I don't think he's affected by the big moment. I think he performs no matter what's happening. So, I mean, I think it's just 450 class tough. It takes a little bit of time, but I think he's going to continue to get better.
JT, if I'm Rockstar Husky, and Andy probably already has this, he knows everything about this, but we think Craig's gone. I'm going after Justin Cooper, JT. I am. I'm putting a press on.
Yeah, I can see that. It'll be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out, because I know that Bobby Reagan loves Justin Cooper. Mm-hmm. So I think they'll want to keep him for the long term, because, Tomac's coming back, but there's an expiration date on Eli. They know that. And I think they want Justin Cooper around for the long term. So do they find a way to sacrifice short term so they keep their process in place long term? That will be the question. But if another team, whether it's Rockstar Husky or whoever, comes in with a really nice offer, I don't know that they have budget to match that. That's going to be the tough part for Justin. Is
I think
because
I'm sure he wants to stay there, but is it worth $300,000 or $400,000 extra turned down to stay?
Let me ask you this.
I think Star has cap space issues.
Let me ask you this. Yamaha pays the 450 salaries.
Yep.
So they pay the 450 salaries. Eli. So let me just ask you this: If Eli came in, it's like, I want to come back at, we know he signed a lower deal in Cowie, a couple $100,000 less, I believe, if not more. But if Eli comes in and says, I want $400,000 salary, let's just
he's asking for way more. I promise.
No, dude, no. He's low.
I don't agree.
But he also doesn't want to do motocross. So if he wants $400 for
Supercross only
and SMX next year, and Justin Cooper's like, hey, I want $200 for a full year. Eli's going to beat Justin Cooper next year, probably, but then Cooper's going to be a guy. Where do you stand on that, JT? What do you do? Do you tell your Tomac?
I don't think that Eli's going to take $400,000.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think he's a pretty low money right now to leave.
I think you're wrong.
And let's say he doesn't do motocross next year.
I don't know, man.
You think he's more than 400 base without motocross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, point being, maybe I'm off, but point being, do you take Cooper
if you're Yamaha,
I know what
you
you're
can
saying.
get Eli Tomac at $400,000.
No.
Do it.
Let's say it's more and all of that. Like
I
whatever
know what you're
whatever
saying.
market
You can't have
value
all
is.
three. You
can't
can't have
have
all
all
three. What's
three.
the two you take?
But you're like, look, Eli is a fading asset. One Supercross win this year, like JT said, his time is coming. He's a great rider, all of that. But
yeah, can you find a way to be a great general manager and manipulate the numbers to where I'm saying, can you find a creative solution to say, okay, Justin, it's gonna be a rough first year or two, but we'll give you a 4-year deal and we'll backload it when we have more budget because Eli's not going to be here, right? Because I do think Justin Cooper is a great long-term solution for them. You can see the improvement happening, and I think there's a chance he wins a Moto or 2 outdoors because he's going to constantly put himself in winning positions.
Yeah, and so I left out too. Webb's deal jumps up huge next year. I forgot to mention that. Right. I know that for sure because they were like, Eli's going to be gone, Coop, so ride for low. And so you got Eli, you got Webb money high. And Tomac wants to come back at a high number. And Cooper, how do you work that? Yeah, JT, like you said.
Well, I don't
right?
Cooper could get a lot of money from anybody, like more than like 300 or 400. I don't think, just knowing the way the market is.
Yeah,
you look at what like Malcolm signed for, Christian Craig signed for, Aaron Plessinger signed for. Those were not high-paying deals because there just aren't many available rides. There are more riders than rides available. So I think Justin would have to take something like that, a $200,000-$400,000 deal, and then go get your other money on top of that. So I think if he's offered something like that, I think he takes it, right? And Yamaha brass just has to get really creative of how they work this shell game for the short term to make sure that they have their guys for the long term.
Yeah, make it up in term, right? Make it up in term.
You just whiteboard it out. Okay, if we keep Justin, this is what we have. Like, or let Justin go, keep Eli and Webb, and go after Chase in 26.
Yeah. Why are we pointing at Andy?
I was just I have a question.
I know that.
No, question.
They were going after Chase this year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
before he signed his KTM deal, that was a lot closer than I think was reported on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, we got a phone call for you, JT. Before we let you go, what's up, Steve? You got a JT question?